Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cop and Fracas, powered by Touchline Media Group. I'm your host, Krish, and this week, joining me to talk about all things LFC, begrudgingly joining me to talk about all things LFC, because to be quite frank and honest, we'd rather be anywhere other than here to talk about the Reds. And to be quite frank and honest with you, I'm joined by Julian, Ellis, and Peter. Gents, how are you all feeling today? I want to do a quick mental health check. I want to see how you're all doing. I want to check in on you, make sure that you're all good.
I'm away from football. I'm currently smoking on that Piers Morgan pack, so I'm good. But on football, nah, man, I can't lie to you. That was shit, man. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I haven't been for weeks. Watching Liverpool's a chore. We're shit, man. We're actually shit. That's basically it. I'm gonna use shit bare times in this podcast as well because that's the only word to describe us and describe what's going on in our club because we're just shit, man.
No, that's honestly completely fair. Els, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. All right, again, like Julian, away from football, life is pretty good, to be fair. I'm okay. But then it comes to like on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Saturday, or Sunday, then my mental health just starts depreciating quite rapidly, which is a shame. But yeah, apart from that, I'm all right. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm not bad. I think I could echo the sentiments of every single person away from football. I'm all right, you know. I'm not that bad. I'm doing quite well. When it comes to watching Liverpool Football Club play games of football, I'd rather do anything else than watch them at the moment. It's becoming a chore, and that really makes me upset. Peter, how are you doing, brother?
Bro, everyone, I'm okay, but it's when the Merseyside Red, when those games start creeping up, it just think, oh please no. Like at this point, like anytime, especially when we play at home, it's basically like going 1-on-1 with the Undertaker. That's what it feels like. Like it's a 30 loss. It's a 30 loss. There's no way you're going home safe, going 1-on-1 with the Undertaker. So hey, we just collect our L's and we dust it off, man.
It's mad, man. Literally, like whenever we feel like the team is getting back on track, somehow, some way, we feel like we're getting some players back from injury. It's almost like Teddy Long walks into the AXA training centre himself and then goes on, hold on a second player, and then picks one random person out of the Liverpool team, out of the Liverpool squad, and goes, you get to go 1-on-1 with the Undertaker. And apparently it's bloody Roberto Firmino this week. Jesus Christ. What is going on, man? I generally think they're doing Royal Rumble training whilst they're fucking... Yeah. As you can tell, listeners, we're all pretty kettled at the moment, and we're much like the players, we're a little bit burned out ourselves. But before we get kind of stuck in, thank you for joining. If you are joining us on the live stream, thank you very much for tuning in. If you're watching us right now on YouTube, be sure to click that subscribe button and also click the little bell to be alerted for whenever we or anyone else on Touchline Fracas Media Group goes live with their content. So thank you very much for that. And if you are looking for a bit more Liverpool content, which if you are, you're a brave person. But there is only one place that you can get that content, one place that you'll get the freshest LFC content that is available on the internet, and that is here at Cop and Fracas. So please do head over to our Patreon page. That is www.patreon.com/Cop and Fracas. And from as little as £3 a month, only just £3 a month, you'll get a whole host of content. Get our post-match reaction shows, all our weekly preview shows, our new show that's non-LFC related called AOB, which might be the most enjoyable thing at the moment. And we've got a whole host of other stuff on there as well for bigger picture stuff. So yeah, if you are interested, please do head over and subscribe today. So let's get stuck into it. This Sunday, Liverpool played against Fulham at home and ultimately end up losing another game of football at Anfield. 6 losses at home in a row, and it pains you to say it. And we lost 1-0 to Fulham. Els, I'll start out with you. Klopp rang in the changes, forced and unforced, just to kind of spice things up a little bit. And I think, if anything, that was the clearest indication that they're focusing on the Champions League and kind of abandoning the league at the moment.
Yeah. I think we all looked at it. We all said our curses. Some liked it, some didn't. But yeah, I just thought he's just given up on this season and he's trying to focus more on the Champions League. Apart from that, I was half and half with the team. I thought that it was good because some players did need the rest. There was a fair few players who were running on fumes. I was surprised to see Robbo. I didn't think Robbo would play. He's literally running on fumes currently. I was surprised to see Reece Williams. That was a fair performance from him. But yeah, the changes were necessary, but at the same time, it was one too many. I thought Trent could have started. Didn't think there was a need for Nico. Obviously, Kabak was injured. He doesn't fancy Ben Davis. Midfield was decent on paper anyway, and the front three was okay, and it was enough to beat Fulham. But as the game just started, we started a bit bright. Salah was getting in behind a couple times, but then as just time went on, we just looked confused and we looked devoid of ideas, and it was very frustrating to see, man.
Completely agree. Julian, I'll come to you. You know, we look at, you know, the forced and the rotational change that Klopp did make. Do you think he did the right thing when you look at it in hindsight now? And what were your thoughts initially when that kind of team sheet came out?
My thoughts initially when the team sheet came out was that it's hard. It's hard these days because even like, especially with the injuries that we have, what changes can Klopp make to make a difference? Because it just seems like all round we're just not at the races at all. I saw a couple players start. I saw Nico Williams, Milner, Shaqiri start. I was filled with no confidence at all, to be honest. The midfield, yeah, there were some changes in there, but again, like at this point, like I've seen our best team play like absolute joke men. So what is, you know, a team that where we're resting our best players? What's that going to do for anyone's confidence at the moment? It's so bad. I feel like Klopp needed to, you know, he did make the right decision in making some changes, but even then, your hands are kind of tied when the changes that you've made, you know, from going from Trent to Nico Williams, Thiago and Milner to Thiago and Curtis Jones to Milner and Kate. To be fair, Kate starting was a bright spot. He done all right. Genie, as one of the comments said, paid for the 400th game in a row. Not expecting much. You know, we've seen about 10 games with him at the 6. Look shit anyway. So when he started there, I wasn't expecting much of that midfield. He's not exactly a leader. He's not exactly a presence in midfield that, you know, fills me with confidence when he starts. Like, oh yeah, Genie's starting. So, you know, everyone's laced up their boots and they're ready for a game. And then I saw Shaqiri as well. That guy's just whatever, man. Like he's riding off a wave. Like right now, it's just so bad. Like the team fools you, especially when it's so sad when the team fools you with no confidence at all. Like I was telling you guys before we started, like I turned over to Sky Sports. I just felt a wave of sadness just consume my body because you were so bad at the moment, so bad. The midfield looked shot, looked like there was a devoid of ideas, just getting ran through. Nico Williams, Lookman just saw him as food, just eating off that right side. It was so like seeing Nico Williams every game get like every opportunity that he has get panned. It's so like must be so demoralizing for him. And then when you're playing next to Nat Phillips and Reece Williams, it's not really gonna fill you with so much joy. You see Milner in front of you, yeah, he's a leader, but man's just falling over when he's getting touches. You know, Lookman just killing him with pace. Yes, it's all around. It's just shocking, bruv. It's shocking. Fills you with no joy. Just makes you kind of sick, to be honest. Falling out of love with football, like that Geese said in the interview. In that interview, like it's like it is what it is, man.
When will it end, Robbie? When will it end? No, I completely echo literally every single thing you said there. Peter, I will come to you on this next point, and kind of piggybacks on what Julian said there. So you look at the defensive selection that we had playing this weekend. You could make an argument that our back five this weekend, for all the Premier League sides that were playing, is possibly the worst back five that started this weekend. So when you look at it on paper, I mean, granted, we've got Brazil's number one in goal, who also is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. It's fair. We've got Scotland's captain starting at left back, but apart from who's in bad form himself. But apart from that, you've got Nat Phillips, who was basically departing the club bar the last day of the transfer window. You've got Reece Williams, who was on loan at Kidderminster Harriers, non-league last year. And you've got Neco Williams, who, quite frankly, could just do with a loan to a top-end championship team. When you're looking at that, the three of those players in those back four probably don't even get into Liverpool's second choice 11 in terms of a back four, because on paper, when everyone's healthy, the first choice back four is Alisson, Robertson, Van Dijk, Gomez, Trent. Second choice, you probably say it is Kelleher, Shimikas, Matip, Kabak, and probably James Milner, because I think he probably would play James Milner over Neco Williams at right back. So you're essentially starting with a team that would probably play a second or a third round League Cup team. Why do you think he's chosen to just do this at this moment in time when he knows that the quality he has just is not good enough?
I think he went for a rotation of our players in this time, because I think that he sort of obviously had the RB Leipzig game in mind, and he wanted to give the players a rest. But I thought it was really weird choices. So if you wanted to give someone a rest, I would have went with Robertson, because Robertson's actually played more minutes than Trent. I get you have to play one of them, obviously, to not dishevel the backline completely, but I'm not sure why you'd rest Trent when their best player comes from that left-hand side. So it's just
he just could. Sorry to interject. I think what he could have done is just played. If he wanted to, he could have played Robertson for the first 45, had Milner at right back, and then for the second half, you take Robertson off, you shift Milner to left back, and then you put Trent at right back.
Yeah,
it seems like if he could do something like that.
Trent and Shimikas personally, but he went with Nico and Robertson, which is weird. But he seems to think that Robertson can just play for anything, which is not true. Robertson, he's a human being as well. You know what I'm saying? He's got obviously a high threshold of playing games, but it's to the point where he's literally running into a brick wall, and he doesn't even look like the same player he was a year ago. He looks like a completely different player now. So yeah, to be honest, looking at that lineup, it was obvious that Fulham's team was probably going to come in away with a win. I think their defense looks stronger than ours, to be honest. So yeah, it was just obvious. To be honest, my problem wasn't with the personnel as such; it was with the shape. Once I saw everyone's touching on personnel, obviously the personnel are not good enough, but it's just kind of fam, we're playing the same way that we played with better players. So now we bring in players with less quality to do what? You know what I'm saying? Because players with better qualities have played the shape and play this way, and we're still losing. So now we playing with players with worse quality in the same shape. So it's kind of we're doing the same thing, expecting different results, and it's just really, really frustrating to see. We've lost 6 games at home. I don't know another manager. I'm not saying they're better than Klopp. That's not what I'm saying. I still have faith in Klopp. But you look at your Pep. If Pep loses 2-3 games in a row, he's going to change it. If Rodgers loses even 2-3 games in a row, they're going to change it. If even Tuchel, and Klopp, to his strength, but it's also to his detriment, has so much faith in the system and these players that he's not going to change it no matter what happens. And it's just bro, these players, they're begging for you to change something, you know what I'm saying? So it's just you need to change it. You need to give them a different environment. You need to give them different spaces, because we've got nothing to lose, really. So you can keep playing this 4-3 and hope these guys can sort of play their way back into form, which is it's not going to happen. These players won't play their way back into form. You've got to make them. You've got to change something and give them different circumstances and different positions. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just really frustrating to see. And I was thinking about it earlier. Our last 2 wins have come from Sheffield, where we changed shape in possession and we gave Sheffield something different to work with, Curtis Jones being the 4th attacker and Robertson being the 5th attacker. So obviously that made us a bit unpredictable. and our last win before that was West Ham. And if you remember West Ham, we played a diamond. So it's like our last 2 wins have come from when we changed it up. You know what I'm saying? And then like now we go back to a 4-3 and we keep losing. It's just like you need to make us so less unpredictable, like less predictable, sir. And I think that's just the main word. Like I've taken away from this Liverpool team is that we're just so predictable. Like if you listen to me on a Patreon, this is literally all I say every week. It's just that we're so predictable to play against. Like you need to give teams something else to worry about because it's like you can study us, and we're gonna play the same 4-3-3. We're still gonna play the same high line with players that can't run. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, please, I'm begging you to change it. Like I'm on my knees here, man. Please change it. Like change it to these players' skill sets. Find a way that suits them. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you have to play a deeper line, then please play it. Like we can't always do this pressing thing. We'll do the pressing thing when man come back. You know what I'm saying? The players can't press at the moment because they ain't got the legs to press anymore. So if they can't press anymore, then drop it back.
I think it's a weird one as well because if he was going to actually change it all up, he probably should have done it in January when they had that period where they could have done it. But I think the worst thing that happened was they actually won 2 games of football, Spurs and West Ham, in fairly convincing fashion as well. So that's obviously hindered. That's obviously stopped him from saying, "Okay, cool, we're going to start doing things a little bit differently." But I think this upcoming international break that we've got in a few weeks, with people probably not going on international duty in terms of the South American, some of the African lads, that will be the point now if he wants to say, "Okay, cool, this is how we're going to play from now till the end of the season in the league specifically. We're going to play this more withdrawn." Possibly kind of similar to how we started playing in the back end of 16-17, where we basically just said, okay, cool, we're going to sit 2 defensive midfielders in front of the back 4, and we're going to play some of the most awful football you've ever seen in your entire life. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to win every game 1-0, and we're going to qualify for the Champions League. I think that's one of the things they probably need to look at and just say, this is the way we need to structure ourselves for the rest of the season, and this is just how we're going to go about doing it. I want to have a respectful conversation in regards to Neco Williams and his selection, because I actually think it's really negligent of us actually playing him and leaving him so just dangerously exposed on that right-hand side, where it was just after, 10 minutes, it was already sad that every single time the Fulham wanted it, that ball was on.
I can't lie.
No one did. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say it's hard. It's hard for us to have a respectful conversation about Neco Williams, because it actually seems like it's every time we see this youth play, regardless of if we're flying in form or if we're down bad, he just gets touched every single time. And I do get, Klopp could have done a bit better with giving him some protection. So I feel like, introducing Milner, to be honest, I don't even feel like he'd done it specifically. That's why I specifically played Milner, but I'm just trying to make sense of the decision to play him. He probably played Milner because he thought he could probably provide Neco Williams with that extra protection in midfield because he might be exposed on the right. But let's be honest, man, that kid, respectfully and disrespectfully, he just ain't it. He ain't it. Like, regardless of if we're flying in form or if we're down bad. We saw it with Tariq Lamptey when Neco Williams first got his Premier League game, he was getting touched. I do feel like, I get your point, because if Klopp knows that he's going to go up against Lookman, who is PMP skillful, and you've seen how Neco Williams is in the past with players like that, you know he's in for a long day. And my God, like Neco Williams, he wasn't the main issue. To be honest, I don't even think the goal came from his side. But man, it's rough. It's rough watching him. And I know he's young. And I know we're going to be we're going to try to be as respectful as we can, but he just doesn't look like he's to the level. To be honest, maybe he needs to loan out and some time away from Liverpool, but he just doesn't look good. He looks absolutely like every single time he gets cooked. Every single time he's on the cooker, and it's peak, bruv. Absolutely peak. Like I don't want to see him play again. To be honest, I'd rather see Milner right back than Neco Williams, and that's crazy for me to say. But I personally just don't want to see that again. I can't lie.
No, I think that's fair. To be honest with you, you can see where he's got some really good attributes. He's quick. He's got a decent shot on him, and he's got a bit of a pass. But positionally and all the things that you need from a top level right back.
Yeah.
He's just not got it at the moment.
I feel a bit bad. Like what Julian said is facts, but it's just one of them ones where he's young and Klopp keeps putting him out to dry. He just keeps leaving them out to dry. So like you're playing essentially for like the champions, and you're playing on the right side that has no protection. So even when Trent plays on there, he even looks a bit exposed at times. So you imagine what like when a 19-year-old comes in, he's going to be exposed. Like I agree, he's not good one-on-one, but he's quite good offensively. I think when he gets to the byline quite a lot actually, and he does put in some good crosses. So I think he's quite good at tackling. I just think we're not playing a system that helps him at all, and he's probably not of the required level yet. But maybe if he goes on a loan, or like you said, or he gets a bit more experience, he could be a better player. But for sure, we're not helping him because it just goes back to the point where Klopp keeps playing the system where it doesn't suit the players. Like it suits like Van Dijk, Gomez, and Trent and that, but it doesn't suit Nat Phillips. It doesn't suit Reece Williams to play this high line. It doesn't suit Nico Williams to just like leave him out to dry about had the whole right flank to himself. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to adjust to the players' skill sets and players' attributes and try and help them out more because that's all you can do.
No, I think that's completely fair. Let's actually move on to the performance itself because, Jesus, it was pretty pathetic. In all honesty, they started off okay in certain aspects, but across the entire period of the 90-day, they just weren't very good. Obviously, they had some areas where we had a lot of the lion's share of possession, but ultimately we didn't create anything. And I think when you have the midfield that we do have at the moment, where it's consistently being bypassed at every single opportunity, you're not going to be able to do anything really. Els, I'll come to you. We obviously they switched it up. Jota was on the left, Salah through the middle, and for some reason, John Shaqiri was on the pitch. How do you feel it started? And obviously, with how it all unravelled, what would you have done anything differently?
It started all right, Like I said at the top, one of my earlier points was that Salah was getting in behind quite a bit. First 15 minutes, we looked a bit dangerous. But my problem is, and that first half was just like I felt sick because Fulham were playing 2 in the middle, and we had 3, so we had an extra man, and we were still getting bopped. And at one time I thought I was gonna like break my TV because I didn't understand for the life of me how you can have an extra man in midfield but still get bops like that. Like no one thought, all right, let's press these people and let's get the ball. And that's the thing. And in this 6 weeks as well, our press has gone. It's gone to the shitter. I don't know where our press has gone. And that ball over the top for the high line, the reason why it's so easy and it's so apparent is because no one is pressing. So when no one presses, of course it's so easy to pick up a pass and just go over the top because again, no one's pressing. And that midfield on Sunday, it's just they've done everything, but they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. Second half, Keita came into the game and started to find a few passes, but that first half was absolutely diabolical. Shaq, I'm not too sure what he's on. I'm not too sure what he does. I'm not too sure who he is. Don't know anything about him. No, I don't know. Nick,
how come I don't know who he is?
I don't know who he is. I don't know what he does. The criticism of Nico is fair. Obviously, that at the standard we are and what we require, he's not there yet. But again, like we all said, that Shaq didn't do anything going backwards. He didn't do anything going forwards. So every time Nico pushed up, nobody in their infinite wisdom decided, let me just sit in that space and try and block off Lookman. So it was just so easy. At times it was like 2 against 1 on that, or even 3 against 1 on that side. Jota felt sorry for him. He couldn't get into the game because he wasn't getting the ball. Same as Salah. At times, Jota had to go all the way back into left back position to try and do something, and he was looking very, very frustrated. Same as Salah, he's playing through the middle. Nobody's offering him anything. So yeah, it was just it's not a performance that you write home to anybody. It was so shit, man. It's just awful. The bright spark of that performance here, can you believe, is when Fabinho come on and he started whizzing the balls into the attackers. He done one pass. I think we spoke about it on the post-match pod. He done one pass where he fizzed it into Shaqiri. Shaqiri was baffed. I was baffed. Everyone's about, like, raw. We can actually do that.
I saw one Jota volley, which was sweet.
Yeah.
Apart from that,
Nothing.
Nothing.
Bro, there was nothing, man. There was
Like,
nothing.
I remember us celebrating that Fabinho was finally back in midfield, and it even seemed like he's been out of midfield for so long that everyone else was confused that an actual DM that actually, progresses the ball up the pitch was on the pitch. And it took them, and obviously because it was by the time they actually realised and clocked, oh, rah, we actually have a proper midfielder in our midfield playing actually in his position. It was too late. Like, we was done. Like, to be honest, the last, if I'm going to be like very, 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 very like lenient on the side, the last 10, 15 minutes was all right. And that's all we can write home about. The last 10, 15 minutes, we looked like we was actually getting back into the game, but too little, too late. Fulham were like, yep, we've got our 3 points. They just sharp shot. Anderson from that centre back I don't know how he came to Anfield and had a blinder. It's so nuts.
Oh, he was sensational. Yeah,
he looks sensational. I don't know how. It's sad, bruv. We're down bad. We're horrible right now, and yeah, man, it's peak, bruv. It's absolutely peak.
Like, it gets to the point
that's the thing as well, man. Like, I can only think of the 2 chances that we had in the game, with the Jota volley and the Mane header. That's literally it.
Yeah, and the Shaqiri had a chance on his left foot, but he missed it wide. That's about it. There was nothing. There was no patterns of play. There was no nothing. Like, can you remember the only time where we've done like 2 or 3 passes in like triangles and all that rondo shit we do in training? Did it come off in a match? No, bro. Fulham played 2 in the middle. 2. Harrison Reed was having a field day. He was having a rave.
He wasn't even Anguissa either.
Like, it wasn't even Anguissa, bro. Like, if it was Anguissa, I understand, because he's a bit bigger, he's a bit better. Technically, he's very cold. It was Harrison Reed and who else was it? I don't even know the other guy. Lemina, flipping Lemina, bro. He's a decent player, but fam, you shouldn't be. Them two should not be having up Milner, Keita, and Gini.
And it's pissing me off how these days, how like the midfielders are having a jolly up at Anfield. Everyone, Jorginho against Chelsea, there he was comfy, just having a jolly up, moving like he was at recess, bruv, just grabbing bare wines, just grabbing bare numbers, like, fam, it's peak, bruv. Like, every single midfielder that comes to Anfield now, they're just eating. Man like Andre Gomez was looking like he was having fun on the Merseyside derby. Jorginho, Tom Davis, skating on ice, moving like those on roller skates. Like, and the thing is, the midfielders that I mentioned, they ain't even that good. Like, how you good? Like, it's not like they're fucking like Kevin De Bruyne or fucking Gundogan or God knows who else is in the Prem. Like, fam, any guys are just coming to Anfield and just having drink ups in the middle of our midfield, bro. Like, at the centre spot, because no one's gonna do anything. Like, our press and our midfield presence, where it actually helped out with our creating attacks and helping out with the defense, is absolutely gone. Like, man, am I just hosting drink ups and link ups in our centre spot? Like, it's mad. It's absolutely mad, bro. Like, it's sad, man. Like, fuck, we're so shit. Oh my God.
You don't understand how angry I was with the midfield on Sunday, fam. They didn't do anything. There was not one singular thing I thought, oh yeah, the midfield, in fact, they didn't do nothing. Now we're having a jolly up. Bro, it looked like one of them after college link-ups in the library.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you want to cook it? Do you want to do that? Yeah.
And you know when you get that one waste man security guard that's like, oh, everyone stop making noise. Yeah. That's what it was like, bro. Like, man, them are just linking up, eating like sweets, popcorn, sausage rolls, like in our midfield. Like, it's actually nuts, bro. It's actually nuts, bro. Like, man, them are just eating. Like,
the Jorginho point, such a good one as well, because you look at, how intensely we pinned them back at Stamford Bridge and how we played on him more than anyone in that reverse fixture. Comes to Anfield and he absolutely just runs the fucking show.
Moving around, running like he was puck, fam. Like, so easy. It's so easy that it's sad, man. Like, fam, I don't know, man. We're not even halfway through the podcast. I'm just tired, bruv. Like, I'm just thinking, I've run out of things to say. What else is there to say, bruv? Like, big man thing. It's tiring. Like, fam, it's not even like this is like a run form for like 2 weeks where we're just bad. This is the whole year. Literally the whole, like, 3 months into the year, we've just been shit after shit after shit. Like, bruv.
Yeah, do you know what it is, Julian, bro? It's the same thing. Like, Since January, do you know how slow we move the football? Oh, it's sickening. It makes me. I like Genie. Big up Genie for everything he's done for the last 4 or 5 seasons, whatever it may be. But brother, can you play it one time? Can you play it first time, brother?
I lie.
Brother, you can. I'm sure you can do it one time. You pick up your head, release the ball. But no, he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to do that, fam. Can you tell me why, Krish? Please tell me why, Krish.
Wow, but if I had dancers, I'd be on the coaching staff, innit? You know what I mean? This man does a Zonto in the middle of the pitch, and I have no idea why. No clue. Yeah, he's me personally, in terms of what we do in midfield wise, I wouldn't start him in the league for the rest of the year because he's probably not going to be at the club next season. So we need to start phasing him out at some point.
The rest of the year.
I wouldn't sign for the rest of the year, but Champions League, I'll play him.
Who'd you play in the 6 then, Chris?
Bruv, I play Glam in the 6 at this point. It can't get any fucking worse, can it? Jesus Christ.
Okay.
I think from now on, you've just got to commit to Phillips and Kabak. Those are you two. You just have to commit to those two guys. I mean, yeah, Nat Phillips isn't the greatest, and as much as I do love Kabak, he's not had the greatest start at Liverpool so far. You got to put your faith in those two players.
I've got to be honest. I've been saying it for weeks, but at this point, it's actually suicide if Klopp keeps putting Fabinho back at centre back, because Fabinho at centre back
can't do it, man. You can't do it.
It's not happening anymore.
This is one of the reasons why we need to put Fab at centre back as well, because we need someone who's just going to demand the ball from the centre backs, because they aren't playing it long. They aren't playing it long out. Because I think the most passes that someone had, the most passes Phillips played to player-wise was Shaqiri.
That shows you where the problem lies, fam. How can the most passes be to a man who doesn't know to do with the ball?
That shows that Milner and Genie were hiding, really.
Hiding, fam.
Those were the two deepest.
They weren't dictating at all.
Yeah, they were hiding. I think Milner had a really bad game. Genie, I can't even really remember him on the pitch as well.
Yeah.
I think a positive point. We haven't said anything positive for the last 5 minutes. Probably Keita, because I feel like, especially in the second half, Keita really grew in the game. He demanded the ball a lot. Yeah, he demanded the ball a lot more. I noticed when he was getting on the ball, he was trying to play some incisive passes, and he kept playing some good passes, but people weren't doing anything with him. So it got to the point where he started driving. He actually started driving around the 7th, 8th minute. He started driving, going past players, but when he comes to the edge of the box, as the centre backs come out, it would break down. But it was nice to see that someone would bring some unpredictability to our attack, because he obviously can bring some incisive dribbling. So I'm about to sneeze. Some dribbling of his to bring some unpredictability. So yeah, it was nice to see KR.
Bro, he was passing some balls after Robertson, and Robertson was just wasting them at every single opportunity. And so at the point, he just went, fuck this.
That's what I'm saying. He was I'm just going to do it myself. He got to the point where he just I'm just going to do it myself. Give me the ball. You man are rubbish. Because these men they weren't offering him anything. So yeah, it was really disappointing to see. And I think Jota was also good as well. He looked a bit sharp in the first half, but in the second half, I think his fitness kind of creeped in, and he wasn't as effective. He was unlucky with the volley. Yeah. And I think Salah looked good as well up front, but as we don't create nothing, he started to get a bit frustrated and started stopping making those runs. But Salah did look good up front, so I'll be interested to see if you play him, keep him there.
I think it's one of the things you have to do from now till the end of the year, really, kind of have him up front. Those chances that we are creating, they come into the 6-yard box, you would want them to come to Salah regardless. Yeah. So we just need to make sure that he's in the right position to get those. I've got to ask this question, because I think it's a question worth asking, because we know the ripple effect that the injuries have caused on the team this season, in terms of players being moved around to different positions, the loss of massively key players, but also the fact that we've had to play guys for more minutes than we would have liked to. I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have wanted to put as many minutes into kind of Genie's legs, Robbo's legs, and Bobby's legs as much as we would have wanted. But it's just the simple question really is because they all look completely shattered. I want to ask you guys, how fucked physically are this team right now?
Bro, they look like they've been squatting 4 plates for the last 6 months. Every time they go gym, 4 plates. That's what they look like. Their legs are so heavy. And to be fair to someone like Genie, he's played way too much minutes that he needs to play, and it's messing up with his mental as well as his physical side. Like, he's a very robust player, which is fantastic, which is very good, but it's too much. It's too much. They will burn out, like we've seen with Bobby Firmino. I know he has his detractors for the last couple of years, but Bobby Firmino's played the most minutes under Klopp more than anyone else, and it's starting to show. A lot of the players, I think from January, that's when we just hit the wall where a lot of these players are playing way too much. The likes of Mane, the likes of Robertson, even Fabinho to an extent, he started to break down a bit. Who else? Salah could break down any moment from now, but again, he's another player who looks really robust. He could play, but a lot of these players are starting to break down mentally and physically because over the last 3-4 years, they've played a lot of minutes at high intensity, and there's only so much the body can take. So I'm saying, I think couple summers ago, the summer for the season where we won the league, that was like last year. Mane had a couple of weeks off and he came back, and like Klopp was really eager to play him. And everyone was like, "Oh yeah, he doesn't need rest. He's this, he's that," which was fair at the time. We all said that, but he's now started to catch up to him. Like his head is telling him to do things, but his body physically can't do it. Like, that's the way he's playing. Like, I'll see him do something, then it's like, oh, I can't do it. My body won't let me. So yeah, these players are absolutely finished, man. They need a rest.
Yeah, I try not to be harsh on the like, you know, I want to say calling the original starting 11, because these last couple of years especially, they've been literally ran into the ground, because, you know, we've had Champions League campaigns that's taken us into the final stretches of the season, top 4, even on Salah's first season, the top 4, we literally had to guarantee that on the last day. Premier League titles, we chased up until the last day. Champions League after that, and then the Premier, and it's even evident from when we won the Premier League that the intensity just dropped. But then over the summer was able to pick it back up, find form again. But then over these last couple of especially these last couple of months where injuries have hit us harder from December onwards. You can tell, like, you can just tell Klopp has been like the same guys that he's been probably relying on them a bit too much, in the sense where there should have been.
They're kind of the same guys who've been letting him down as well, haven't they? Really?
Yeah, but you know, I think to be honest, it works both ways. Like, Klopp has kind of let them down in the stage where I've actually been critical of this before, that Klopp could have done a bit better with his rotation, especially last season and the season before. Yeah, I get that, you know, the drop-off in quality is crazy, but at the end of the day, these players are humans. They're athletes, but they're humans. But then again, these players have kind of let Klopp down as well. You know, simple chances and simple movements that David was making before, they can't make now. But it's all a snowball effect, man. Like, the buck just doesn't stop at Klopp and the players as well. The board has to take some responsibility. Like, you genuinely thought that these same group of players could maintain what they could maintain at high intensity for 3-4 seasons straight with no investment in actual quality. It's kind of crazy to me. I don't feel like, to be honest, Klopp trusts a lot of his let's say supporting casts to the main cast. I don't feel like he has a lot of trust in, obviously because Keita's injury prone, not a lot of trust in Keita. I don't think he has a lot of trust in Shimikas, as it looks like, because Shimikas was on the bench and has been on the bench for a while, but still can't seem to get a game over Robbo, who's been absolutely running to the ground. Centre backs, of course, we've spoken about that. There was no investment, so why should Klopp have a trust in? Even looking at some players that were signed in January, like Ben Davies, like we were speaking about it today, like Klopp just probably looking at him like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, he's not going to be rude and be like Jose Mourinho, come out and say, yo, can't lie, fam, I didn't even sign this you. I don't know who this you is, but he's going to save face. And Kabak, he just looks poor. Yeah, man. Relying on Origi and Shaq, like, yeah, it could have worked maybe 2 seasons ago, you know, and was in the Champions League run, and Shaq when he came off the bench and he was kind of showing the moments of quality, but now looks fucked. To be honest, this season's a bit of a write-off. I think that the club and Klopp are just riding it out, seeing what happens, and then hopefully have an exciting summer, because that looks like the only solution to our problems, to be honest.
Peter, I'll come to you on the note that Julian ended on in terms of the summer. Do you think it is something that's easily reset in the summer, or do you think it's a problem that runs a little bit deeper than kind of like a summer break finishes this all off, get a bit of rest into the players' legs, and get people back into the team?
I think it does run a bit deeper. So in terms of the fact that we need to have a good window in terms of selling players, and so like we need to find sort of money from the players that we already have in the squad, because obviously FSG say they will back Klopp, but in terms of like based on what I'm going off, like they're not just going to give him a transfer kitty. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to sell some players. So it's probably the biggest window that we've had so far in terms of either we go one way and we still challenge City and we're still at the top, or we go the other way and we're just a team that lounges in like 5th, 6th, 7th place. Like, you know what I'm saying? So the transfer window is a really, really big window, and I just hope that Klopp will be backed, and we're able just to cut our losses with certain players, because that's what we really need to do in order to get other players. I think we need to cut our losses. Like, to be honest, like people will say that it's a really big reset, but it's not as big. So if we can get like four players, like 4 players with real quality that can challenge the first 11, some maybe come into the first 11. So maybe looking like a centre back, a centre mid, a winger, and a striker. Get them 4 in, and like we're good, basically. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a right back as well, but right back I don't like. But we can have players that can sort of. You know what I'm saying? The right back's not the biggest priority, but yeah, just even them 4 positions, and we sell like your likes of Shaq, Marigi, maybe Nat Phillips, like just a couple players just to fund us, and yeah, we'll be all right. But yes, it's just a really big transfer window, and I just hope that they're planning it from now, and they're not just going to leave it till how they left it on January the 31st, and that these guys really know what they're doing, because our recruitment has been good so far, but yeah, it's just it's a big window coming up for sure.
Yeah, they always try to plan about kind of 2 windows in advance. So last summer they'll already be starting to work on kind of next summer. So when you're thinking about it, you'd hope that would be why they were a little bit reluctant to kind of outlay a little bit more money on a centre back in this window. If we are looking to try and get someone in this summer instead, who would be a bit more higher terming, both profile and quality. So, you know, touch wood there. You can tell the excitement on my face in terms of transfers this summer, because that's going to be fun. As usual on Copper and Fracas, and if you are a Patreon subscriber, we will be doing our summer transfer window game as we did last year. So do be on the lookout for that. That'll be a lot of fun to see how much money I give the guys this summer. They weren't overly happy with how much they got last year, so that'll be even fun to see what they get this year. Let's move on to kind of our game tomorrow night against RB Leipzig. And suddenly, this game tomorrow evening, that isn't even at Anfield, it's back in Hungary at the Puskás Arena, has just become our biggest game of the season. And, you know, if we were to qualify subsequently, every single Champions League game will be the biggest game of the season so far. My question for you guys is, this is now becoming the ultimate get out of jail free card. So, you know, when teams are having a shit, this is something that Chelsea will always do. Chelsea will be complete dog shit in the league, but they'll end up winning like the Europa League and then qualifying for Europe next year, or they'll win the FA Cup and make sure they're in for Europe. So this is the page we need to really take out of Chelsea's book, really. So we have the ultimate get out of jail free card in front of us. But do you guys think that this current Liverpool team, as is even capable of coming close to cashing in that card this year?
In my opinion, I want to believe that we can. I have hope that we can. But you know what gives me hope? It's the fact that I feel like Europe is a lot weaker than the Prem. I feel like in Europe, a lot of teams won't come out and pay like banks of four that can kind of nullify us and kind of take away from our game. It's a lot more expansive. It's a lot more open. But even saying that, teams have come to Anfield and played like that while we've just been on the back foot. So I got to be honest. It'll be very unrealistic for us to say we can go all the way. But yeah, man, in Europe, it's a different ball game. Definitely a different ball game. So we'll have to see, and maybe like the players will mentally, be more up for a Champions League game than a Premier League game right now. Maybe the whole going for the league and getting 3 points and trying to get top four is a bit demoralizing. But playing in this cup competition and hearing the Champions League music and playing against teams around Europe is psyching them up more mentally. I saw a picture of Fabinho, Keita, and Thiago this today, and I got excited. But it's the hope that kills you. It really is.
I think we'll get into teams later on, but I think it might be Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Thiago for tomorrow evening, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Ellis, how about yourself? Do you think this current Liverpool team is capable of cashing this card and playing with some pride, just simply for the president of Namibia to send out a positive tweet?
I don't know. I don't think we can do it, fam. We're just so low on confidence. This Liverpool team is a team that relies a lot on energy and chakras and all that good stuff, and we haven't got any of that right now. So can we G ourselves up to get a performance in? I doubt it, man. I want to say yeah, but I just doubt it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe this could be a catalyst for the rest of the season. There's still a couple months left for the season, and if like you say, Krish, if we do play Fabinho, Thiago, and Gini in the middle, that will give us a bit of good foundation in it, and that will allow us to move forward. But currently, on current viewing, you know me, I'm ever the optimist. I don't think we have enough in our tank right now, man. We're on zero, absolutely zero, man. I would like to be proven wrong, but I don't know. I'm not too sure, man.
Reminds me of when that episode of The Simpsons when Principal Skinner goes, "Oh, come on, we all know that these kids have got no future." And he just screams it out, and everyone hears, and he just goes, "Prove me wrong, kids. Prove me wrong."
Literally, it's literally that, bro. Literally.
Peter, what do you think that they can use this get out of jail free card and potentially do the unthinkable, salvage something from this season, and win the Champions League?
Nope. Nope. I have to be honest, man. Like, I want to believe, like Julian said, but it's just impossible. Like, in terms of the way Ellis raised a good point, we need the energy, we need all the vibes, we need the heritage, we need the spirits, like, to be with us. And without no fans to ask for a Champions League run to get to the final and win it without no fans, this Liverpool team. And the thing is, the last two times we've won it, we have to come back. Barcelona beat them 4-0, and then Olympiacos again. Gerard had to do a mad thing, like, and that's because of the fans. The fans give us this energy. The fans, they give us this like spirit, and we haven't got that. The best thing we can hope for, I said it on the Patreon, is that we just, we quietly go out with our tail between our legs, like, a cheeky little 2-0, like, you just lose a cheeky little 2-0 in the semi-final. But, like, I don't know, let's say Barcelona get popped on the same day, so the timeline just kind of forgets us. You know what I'm saying? Or Mbappe scores a hat trick while we get knocked out 1-0. You know what I'm saying? So let's just hope for that. I think what we can do, though, is that maybe we can get our confidence back from maybe winning a few games in Champions League. So if you win a few games in Champions League, hopefully the boys can then put together a run, which will then put us in a place in the Premier League, maybe sneak a little 4th place or 5th place, because I think the team that wins in the Premier League in terms of getting Champions League place will be the team that puts together a good run. You know what I'm saying? So if we can put together a good run in these last 11, 10 games, we can easily finish 4th. But again, saying that, this Liverpool team, we've lost 6 games in a row. There's a cheeky little fact for you guys. The last team to lose 6 at home in a row was Huddersfield, 2019. And do you remember the Huddersfield team? Do you know how bad the Huddersfield team was? They had like Mounier up top and
Congolo and
Yeah, do you know how bad that team was, bro? So we're playing at the same level as that Huddersfield team.
Well,
Jeez.
relegation form. Well, we're playing out of relegation form. Our form since January is relegation.
That Huddersfield team was bad, so yeah, putting together a run is looking unlikely, but hopefully we can maybe because like Julian said a good point. I don't think I'll disagree with the fact that you said that they're easy to play. I think our style suits the Champions League more than the Premier League does. So in terms of teams come at us small and we're able to get at them and Leipzig make mistakes like they did the other day, so we can able to pounce on that. So yeah, maybe we can win a few games of the Champions League and hopefully that'll give the boys a bit more confidence.
Hopefully, let's hope on that one. Obviously, with the game tomorrow evening, we kind of saw in the first leg that Leipzig slightly played into our hands in the way that they want, in the way they set up, and the way they kind of play similar to we do. So there are some gaps at the back for us to exploit. Els, I'll come to you. Does Leipzig's playing style fit into our game planning, how we want to operate, or does it actually cause us more problems considering that we're so bang out of form in comparison to that first game?
I think them being so expansive and willing to push up the park helps us a bit more because it allows us to have spacing behind. But then our defense isn't the best. And like that first game, we had Henderson's leadership and Kabak, who I know a lot of people think he's not good. I think he's decent, and I think he done enough in that game, to repel Leipzig. Having said that, Leipzig had a few chances in that game. So, bro, it could go any either way. But I think their tactics play into our hands. I know we're gonna go into what we want to see in regards to the shape and the team. And I will hope that we play a more defensive game. I know that's not in our nature, but where we control the space instead of like doing the counter press, we're just controlling the space and we're blocking off every passing lane. I think because we've won the first leg 2-0, so we're not really that much under pressure. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think Leipzig will definitely go gung ho and try and hit us early and try and stun us first 10 minutes. So that will leave a lot of gaps for us, and hopefully we can counter attack them with that. So like Peter said, I think our style favors Europe a bit more, and Europe is like a welcome distraction, if you want, for lack of a better term. So it could go either way, but I think Leipzig might play into our hands again.
Yeah, I think the one thing we definitely need to be on the lookout for, which we weren't particularly great at in the first leg, is kind of Angelino overlapping on that left-hand side. He was getting it a bit far too easy, so that's one of the things we're going to have to start doing. Coincidentally, again, on that right-hand side of our defence. So it's one of the things we've definitely got to make sure that we sit down.
Yeah, that's a good point. Angelino, especially on that Trent side, we need to watch out for him. And you guys remember that Atlanta game where Jota scored a hat-trick? I think that's the best way we need to approach this game. So it's going to be the same front three in terms of Salah, Jota, Mane. So what we did at Atlanta, we just picked them off, and it was really fluid system. So when Leipzig come at us, we just need to pick them off, hit a Jota early, hit Mane early, and yeah, pick them off because there's going to be spacing behind. And when was the last time we seen spacing behind? We ain't seen spacing behind for ages. So like, let these men have spacing behind and pick them off because they're going to come at us. Let Upper Mancano make his mistakes, and you know what I'm saying? So yeah, just pick them off the same way we've done that Atlanta game, because we've done that to the Atlanta game to perfection. So yeah, I think that's the best way to approach that game. That's a similar vein in that game.
Right, I need Upper Mancano to give away a penalty like he did against Borussia Mönchengladbach, because that was the funniest thing I have ever seen.
I just thought we're 2-0 up, so I'm surprised at how scared we are to play this game tomorrow. It's actually mad how levels have dropped. Like, we're 2-0 up, and we're literally thinking, fam, tomorrow looks peak if we concede what? Yeah. We're at home, we've got 2 away goals even, come to think of it. So it's a home advantage. So yeah, it's a bit crazy still. I don't know, man. Like, I personally think we're going to go through tomorrow. Depending on who you get in the quarterfinal, I think we have a decent chance, to be honest, to get to the semis. Literally depends on who we get. I think if we get another English side, we're fucked. If we get Juventus, not Juventus, PSG, Yeah, PSG, to be honest, are the only team I can think of that like scare me. Like if it was to get them in the Champions League, to think like, yeah, we're definitely up.
I think there's two teams, two non-English teams. I think would absolutely do us in on current form. It's PSG because you look at how mobile their midfield is and the fact that they've got one of the best players in world football up
Two
front.
of them.
Well, no, he's on annual leave again, isn't he, for his sister's birthday?
He was back for a quarterfinal though. He was back for the quarterfinals.
You never. I never know with that guy. I never know.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, he loves his cheeky. Books off from when your holiday days come in. He's like, yep, March, February, I'm not there. Trust me, I'm not there. But Atletico, I actually don't think they're gonna win against Chelsea. You know, I think they're quite shit, to be honest. I think they're not shit in the sense where, you know, they're unable to beat us. But I definitely feel like the way they play football, and this season especially in their league, is kind of a false image because of how bad Barcelona and Real Madrid are. And even then, they're kind of like cutting them down. But I don't think Atletico are going to go through against Chelsea. So if you're going to say them,
essentially all Atletico Madrid are is just continental Burnley, really. You know, when you do really think about it and how they set up. And certain unnamed people want their manager to become our next manager. So we'll leave that bit there. In terms of how you think we're gonna set up tomorrow with the lineups, what do you guys think in terms of your starting 11s?
What I want, so my one is I want us to play like a deep block 4-4-2 with Ox on the right, Jones on the left. But when we're attacking, it will turn into like a 4-2-2-2 with Salah and Jota up top. So then Ox and Jones will be occupying that like eight half spaces. That won't happen, obviously, because Klopp is Klopp. So what we will have is a 4-3-3 with hopefully Fab, Gini, and Thiago. Firmino's injured, so it'll be Jota, Mane, and Salah. Hopefully, Mane on the right, Jota on the left, and Salah through the middle. Try and just get those balls early into the front three. Really, it'll be normal defense. Ali, Trent, Kabak should be back. Phillips and Robertson, God bless his soul, he's going to play again. He's going to need a lot of iron brews in the next coming days. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to try and catch them early on the counter attack. We're going to try and press them up high. And hopefully we can just see a revitalized Liverpool.
Peter?
Yeah, I agree. I think Ellis's team is spot on. Definitely Fabinho's coming back into midfield. So the same front three, 100%. I think they can all interchange as well. There's no reason why they can't interchange. Salah doesn't need to stay up top. Jota can switch with him from time to time. And Kabak and Phillips at centre back. I don't think Phillips should lose his place. I think Phillips should be the one constant that stays there. I think Phillips is quite good. And if he can build a partnership with Kabak, that would be brilliant. Then Portia, Fabinho back into the 6, and I'll play Gini and Thiago, them 3. So yeah, I think that sounds like a good team to me. It should really do the job. I think what we have to be careful is that, like Ellis said, the first 10-20 minutes they're going to try and hit us really quickly. So they're going to start really, really well. So as long as we can calm that storm like in the first 10-15 minutes, there'll be gaps apparent, and then we should pick them off. It'll be cool. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think that first 10 minutes, if we kind of sit deep, absorb a bit of the pressure, and then kind of play a bit more expansive, that'd be definitely helpful. Julian, what are you thinking for your starting 11?
Yeah, I agree with everyone else, to be honest. Not much we can do at this point. I would play the normal defense. Oh, normal defense, fucking hell. What is that these days? All right,
this new mad defense.
This is nuts. I'll play Alisson, Trent, Phillips, and Kabak. I'm thinking to play Shimikas, because we're 2-0 up. But I don't know. I was thinking to play Shimikas to give Robbo a rest, but it looks like this is a must-win game. So Robbo is definitely going to play, but I wouldn't mind Shimikas coming in tomorrow. Fabinho at DM, Thiago and Keita, because I generally don't think Wijnaldum, even though he's more defensively sound than both Thiago and Keita, he's got the legs in him. He needs a rest, man. He can't play on Sunday and then play on Wednesday again, and then probably going to play this weekend as well. And of course, Jota, Salah, and Mane in the front three. But yeah. I would like to see Robbo get some rest. And now I think about it, Tsimikas should get a game, and it's Europe as well. So let's just hope for the best.
I think for me, I'd probably give Tsimikas a bit of a run up against Wolves. To be fair, it's Monday night. I mean, you look at the way Wolves operate; it's not going to be the worst game to kind of drop really for me. I think the key players for us on the evening. I think we just need the one thing that was screaming out for us kind of on Sunday was just the lack of playmakers we had. We had no one who was kind of taking the ball and dictating stuff. So in a game that was screaming out for both Thiago and Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think those two are going to be our key distributors and our key drivers really for tomorrow's game. What do you guys think in terms of your kind of key players to help us kind of come through this fixture?
Yeah, I agree with you, Krish. I believe that Thiago, Trent will be very, very key. Thiago's a funny one because I've seen him against Everton, especially. He was hiding, so I'm onto him, innit? I'm onto him, bro. He was hiding, bro. But I'll give him the benefit of doubt, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I agree that we do need people just to get onto the football, man, because that midfield on Sunday was yeah, that midfield was absolutely shocking, bro. Yeah, fam. Yeah, so all jokes aside, yeah, I believe those two players would be very, very key. And also Fabinho. I think Fabinho, if he can get into that midfield, I know Pep Lingers calls him the lighthouse, so like he's the one that recovers the ball and sets it again. And we've missed that from our midfield because without him and Hendo in that DM role, I know Hendo played there a few times, but we don't have anyone who moves it as quick as possible. So yeah, I think first primarily it's going to be Thiago and Trent for me, then possibly Fabinho.
Peter, Julian, you guys broadly agree with Els, or do you think anyone else would be kind of like the difference maker for us tomorrow night?
I agree with Ellis. Jota, I want to add in as well. I think Jota is coming back with, some batteries in his pack. He's coming back to thinking, you know what, let me actually put my staple on this team, especially for next season, and bring this Liverpool team forward. I think Jota's going to be. I think he'll probably bag tomorrow. To be honest, he's coming back with a vengeance. So I'd love to see him put his place in the team and possibly permanently remove either one of the front three, which he's, in my opinion, already done this season. But just make that statement tomorrow and make it solid for going forward.
Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, I had this idea. Yeah, I think he might not start Jota tomorrow. You know, because I feel like he obviously started on Sunday, and then obviously he's going to be quite wary of not throwing him into deep, so just not playing him so much. Obviously, just come back from injury, and he might go for a diamond and put Jones in that 10 and put Salah and Mane up top, because in a diamond, what happens with a diamond? You have two runners up top, and they're going to get space in behind. So I won't be surprised if Jota comes back in against Wolves, his former team, and he goes for Jones in the front three instead and plays a diamond like that he did against West Ham. I thought I might throw a wild shout out there. But key players will be Trent and Salah, I think. When Trent plays well, we play well. So that's basically it. And Salah, he likes the Champions League a lot, to be honest. He always seems to score in the Champions League. Like, he loves the bright lights, doesn't he? So, yeah.
The biggest of stages where we need one of the biggest performances from Liverpool this season. And hopefully we can come out with a result that sees us through to the quarterfinals, and then hopefully we draw Porto or someone of that ilk to give us the easiest possible ride to hopefully winning the fucking thing, because good Lord, do we not have anything else to hope for the rest of the season. Look, I'm being a bit pessimistic, a bit of a dickhead there, but please, if you are looking for a bit more LFC content to fulfill your days from now until the end of time, really. We've got so much good stuff dropping on the Patreon this week and in the future. Of course, we'll be with our post-match Leipzig show We will have our weekend preview show later in the week, AOB, post-match Wolves, and so many other shows in the pipeline as well. We've currently got the Jorginho One Album Conundrum Summer 2021 show, where we evaluated what the outlook is like for Liverpool this summer, and a whole host of other stuff as well. So please, if you are interested in more Liverpool FC-based content from us here at Cop and Fracas, then please do go to our Patreon page now at www.patreon.com/Cop and Fracas, and from as little as £3 a month, you can subscribe today. A big thank you to Ellis, Julian, and Peter for joining me this evening. This has been Cop and Fracas Live, and for God's sake, Liverpool, just fucking win a game of football.